In the Windows environment, it's quite normal to click on a folder, navigate to the folder, find what you need in the folder, click the folder and the things that are in the folder, open it up, bring it in. It's a lot of clicks. So in today's tutorial, what I thought I would demonstrate is how to create a form, add a list box, and give the user a capability of finding what they want to add to the list box. Once the file is added to the list box, we'll give them a button to bring it in as a table. So let's get started. Let's add a form to our database. Click on New, click on Design View, and then click OK. Maximize the window, stretch out the form so that we have a little design room. Since this tutorial is about adding things to a list box, let's add a list box to the form. Close down the wizard. We're going to use code. Delete out the label. And let's add a control. Let's add a button. Close down the wizard. And let's reshape our form. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's rename our button and let's rename our list box next. Click on the command button, go to Properties, and let's call it Command File Dialog. We also need to give it a caption. Command 2 is not going to do. Let's call it Add Files. Hit Tab. Our button is nicely renamed. Now let's rename our list box. Click on Properties. Go to All. And let's call it File List. There's one last thing we need to do. This is going to be called a value list as the row source type. Let's put some code behind the button now. Double click on the button, which opens up the property box, and go to the event tab. Let's put an on-click event behind the button. Click on the little ellipsis, go to the code builder, and click OK. Alright, so we have the shell for our button. But we need to do one more thing to make this code work. Go to Tools, click on References, and what we need to do is add the Microsoft Office Object Library. Click that, click OK, and now we're ready to add our code. I'm going to add an option explicit command at the top. I need to declare two variables now. One is fdialog and one is var file. Make that one a variant, make that one an office.filedialog. If you were to hit dot, you'll be able to find that property because we enabled the reference just a moment ago. I want to clear out the list box first. Sometimes when a user is using this form, there might be things left over in the box, and what we want is a fresh new list. Now we need to set up our dialog box. And now we can even name it. We can call it select one or more files. You could call it select one or more spreadsheets, whatever you want to call it. Normally when you're using a file dialog box, it gives you a drop down at the bottom of what the file type is. Well, in this example, you can actually make your own. But you first have to clear out that little box, and that's what this command does. And then you can add everything that you want in it. I want to add one more. How about one for spreadsheets? I'm going to hit enter. I'll just copy this top line, paste it in, and now I'm just going to revise this little string right here. I'm going to say Excel workbooks. And then of course this MDB, it's not MDB, it ends in XLS. Alright, this is looking good. Let's move on. For time purposes, I'm pretty much copying and pasting my code into the window and explaining it as we go along. But this one right here, it puts a little condition in here. When you pick a file, it will test it out, and then if it's true, it'll add those items to our list box. Well, everything looks really good. I'm going to hit save. Save all of my modules. Close it down, and I'm ready to test it out. Be sure to save your form. Close it. Open up your form. And get ready to click the button. Looks like it works good so far. I'm going to navigate to my desktop. Do you remember those choices that we were making? There's my Excel workbooks choice right there. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on orders. And look what it's done. It is actually added to my list box. Let's add some more. It will delete them out because we've told it to. But I can actually take that out and just keep everything in the list box. It's up to me. I'm the programmer, and it's up to what the user wants. Thank you for watching my demonstration on how to navigate to the folders and files that you need and import it into the list box. I think the next thing that we could talk about is how to import these particular spreadsheets into the database. I think that might be a good one to do. So please stay tuned and watch for that one, and thank you for watching my tutorials.